Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, my name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator today. So if at any point you have any question or if you want to know more about the GSDC initiative, please feel free to use the chat box. Just allow me a minute to share my screen. Meanwhile, please do let us know from where you guys are watching. We would be happy to know that. So, on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all into the GSTC Studio, learning and practice real world learning and development case studies across industries. In this webinar, you will be unlocking the secrets behind industry leading learning and development transformation by learning from real world case studies, which you can apply in your daily professional lives. And one of the things which make this webinar so interesting is the amazing panel of speaker we have lined up for you. So today, so some of them have already delivered a very incredible and insightful sessions, and others are all set to bring in more powerful ideas. So for those who have joined with us for the very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. So Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ABICB. Till yet, we have a 250,000 professionals certified with us. We have 500 plus subject matter experts and 100 plus training providers associated with us. We have 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus university worldwide associated with us. And currently, we are covering 100% certification in our portfolio. So these are our authorized training partners who are connected with us from Asia, Africa, Canada, Nigeria, Australia, Singapore, Korea, and many other countries. So special thanks to all training provider to helping us improving our training programs. And a special thank you to our media partner WordPresser for all of our press conference releases and events releases, also to helping us simplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. So I just wanted to make a quick announcement that we have just launched a platform called GSDC AI Studio Lifelong Learning Initiative. In this GSDC AI Studio, you will be getting 100 plus live monthly sessions with global expert, which include the 4 daily sessions, 45-minute live expert lead session for hands-on learning, sessions from global expert, learn directly from AI leaders around the world, real-time practice, you can apply concept immediately and get your question answered right away. Certification ready, you will be getting the training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. Now, how can you get the benefit of this JSTC AI Studio? Well, let me tell you. So there are three ways for this. First, you have a free 30-day access in which you will be getting the 80 plus live session per month and access to full GSTC Studio. Second, we have a GSTC lifelong membership. You will be upgrading to Pro in $109 and you will be getting the lifetime access, 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSTC Studio, free GSTC membership, access to physical event and LinkedIn profile improver. Last but not the least, we have GSTC certification lifetime membership. Now, participant, this offer is for a very limited time of period, so make sure you're grabbing this offer quickly because it is starting from $100 and you will be getting the lifetime access, including the GSTC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone projects plus AI tool, GSTC Copilot, and competency assessment tool. So as I told you guys that currently we are covering 100 plus certification in our portfolio, which include the learning and development, HR, Gen AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. With that, it's time to introduce regarding our today's speaker. So today we have Yukta Hans with us. Yukta is a visionary learning and development strategist with 14 plus years of experience shaping next generation talent architectures across global finance, tech consulting, and public services. As an advisor to the commissioner at Canadian Municipal Corporation, she leads the design of integrated learning and development ecosystem that blend digital learning, experimental development, and performance enablement. She also serves as president of Avyukt Coaching and program quality director for Toastmasters Toronto, empowering individuals with clarity, communication, and leadership excellence. As a trusted advisor and thought leader, Yukta has driven measurable learning and development transformation, advancing leadership readiness, capability building, and a culture change. With strong academic and professional credentials, she brings depth, clarity, and strategic foresight to every engagement. In her upcoming Global Skill Development Council, she will be she will share a practical and forward looking blueprint for remaining learning and development as a dynamic embedded force that shapes organizational growth. And she is going to lead the session on the new architecture of learning and development strategy today. So, thank you so much, Yukta, for coming on our platform. We are very honored to have you as our speaker. Before handing over the virtual mic, just a quick reminder. If you have any question regarding the GSTC or GSTC AI Studio, any other initiative, otherwise you would like to connect with Yukta regarding the session during the session for any question or answer, please feel free to use the chat box. Once again, don't be shy. Drop your reactions, emojis, or quick comment in the chat box. That way, we know you're with us and you're actively listening and absorbing the insight. It's with that, it's time to welcome Yukta. Yukta, the stage is all yours. Thank you so much once again for coming on our platform.
Thank you, Pratibha. A big round of applause to Pratibha for doing such a great job with organizing this event. Hello, everybody. I am Yukta, and I'm going to lead today's session. I come with a lot of experience in learning and development, and I'm absolutely passionate about this field, which is why I love sharing what I have learned across years with all the people who are interested in learning and development. With that, I'm going to share my screen so that you can also track along whatever I'm talking about. Pratibha, can you give me an indication if you're able to see my screen?
Yes, Yukta, we are able to see your screen.
That's perfect. All right. So I always love starting with where my learning and development journey started. It started long, long ago when I was actually a little kid. And one day my dad returns from his work and he's all excited and happy and he comes back and he says, that he attended a training on something called Who Moved My Cheese? And that had nothing to do with cheese. It was all about change management. Now, those of you who are from India or maybe anywhere in Asia, you know that an excited, happy looking dad is a dream. And I thought, if something like this can make this man smile and so happy and so excited, it is definitely worth exploring. Many years down the line, I studied psychology, I studied language and literature, cultural studies, and all of that set a foundation for me to get into learning and development. My career started in L&D, and I have been in learning and organizational development throughout, which also means I've seen a lot of shifts in how learning and development functions. When my dad attended that training on Who Moved My Cheese, at that time, for him, what was exciting was that he attended a training, which was interesting, engaging. But when I asked him what got him into the training room, he said, whenever there's a training, there are lunches and you get a day away from work. Now, that to me indicated that this man is busy, maybe even stressed, maybe even burnt out. And training is a break from what he is doing day to day. But today, after so many years, that is still true. Employees are busy, so many of them are stressed, some of them are even burnt out. And that means they are looking for meaning and satisfaction. In other words, growth from where they are. That is what the employees today are seeking. Now, I have a question for all of you to get a sense of who our audience today is. What is your current number one L&D priority? Your options are skills, leadership, productivity, career mobility, or compliance. And I'll request Pratibha to share with me whatever she sees in chat.
So Bakash said skills.
Mhm. What else? Everyone who's online, request you to put your responses in chat so we get a sense of what our
Naris,
organizations are looking for.
Nerissa is saying career mobility.
Okay, we have skills, we have career mobility, anything else? Okay,
So
a lot of organizations, thank you, Pratibha. A lot of organizations today also focus on leadership, skills, and career mobility, definitely. Compliance. Of late, I've seen a lot of learning and development professionals say that we've moved away from compliance, but compliance is still a part of learning and development. Leadership, definitely a big one. Productivity. Your new hire orientation sessions, they come under learning and development. And why is that? Because we want employees to become productive as soon as possible. So all of these are priorities of organizations. Of course, there are much more, but these are the top five priorities that organizations see even today. Thank you to those of you who responded on chat, and let's move forward. I have another question for you. How important is training need assessment? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think is TNA on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, I see 9 out of 10. How important is training needs assessment? 8.5. Okay. Yes, training needs assessment is very, very important. Someone also says 10 out of 10. When I was in my early career, training need assessment was a very new thing and a very, very, very important step for learning and development processes. However, things have changed now. Let's look at how the goals of learning and development have shifted over years, because they definitely have. And training needs assessment is now something else, and we will definitely get to that part as well. But let's look at the shift and then get there. How have L&D goals shifted? A lot of shift has happened. From training delivery which my dad was attending. There was a training delivery, which was fantastic. He had an exciting day. Now we have moved to business capability building. From classroom, we've moved to continuous learning ecosystems. From compliance, we've also moved to performance uplift. That's something that we focus on now. And overall, personalization, data driven learning, digital fluency, all of these are coming up. And all of you know how the world is changing. We are a generation that has seen COVID. We are a generation that has seen Chat GPT. We are a generation probably that has seen so many social media, mobile phones coming in. We have seen so many things happening. And the way science is growing, requirements of organizations is growing. What they have is growing. Requirements of individuals is also growing. And that means goals of learning and development will keep shifting and very quickly. So, what do? We look at learning in the workflow and we look at capability academics. I will get into details of that as well. But first, let's look at how these shifts have happened in past 5 years. So, in past 5 years, learning and development has now become strategic enabler. They're not just a support function. They're not just a small team sitting under learning and development doing a number of trainings. The shift has also happened to skill based organizations because employees are asking for learning. When my dad was working, for him, learning was not the most important thing. Being able to do what he was asked to do was more important. But today, employees want learning, and that is skill based organization. Employee experience and talent development, they have also come together. An employee who doesn't learn in their organization is not a very satisfied employee. They're not very engaged employees. So that has become linked. And the expectation is to move fast and deliver measurable outcomes. There's something that one of my leaders had told me many, many years ago. And she said, there's nothing like learning emergency. And there was another leader who always asked for everything to happen in past. That's an exaggeration, but for him, it was always that, oh, you've not done this till now. The training should have been delivered. So we used to say the deadline for him is always yesterday. But that has become reality of today, which means we need to build for the future. So where does learning and development fail? Precisely, we fail at these things. We over focus on content and under focus on capability. We lack measurement and business alignment. We are still focusing on how many people got through the training, how many batches did we conduct, and what was the turnaround. Then we miss fragmented tech stacks and low adoption. How does that work? If you look at big organizations, they have so many learning and development tools. They have they have access to so many e-learning modules, they have access to so many reading material, they have access to everything. And then when they go in and they check, they see that they've given access to say 1000 employees, but only 20 of them actually gone and finished a course. That then becomes low adoption, and the result is just loss of a lot of money for the organization, and then they say we don't need so much. And lack of personalization. A lot of learning and development professionals are still doing one training for everyone, and then we see that it's not working. So you have these monthly themes, like you have collaboration 1 month, and then you have team building another month, and then everybody is expected to go through the same training, which doesn't work. Maybe there's an individual who understands collaboration when they're working with other teams, but they don't understand how to work well within their own team. So every individual needs personalized pathway. Now, here's a quick scenario for all of you to think about. Imagine the organization that you're working with, either as an internal learning and development professional or as external support. They have launched onboarding. There's an onboarding program that's going on, and it takes 6 months before someone becomes fully productive. Now, learning and development runs a great 3 day onboarding, but the business still complains. What do you think is the real issue? I would request people to put that on chat and tell us that there is a 3 day learning and development onboarding session. You think it is fantastic, but the business is complaining. Where are we missing something? All right. So, what we are missing here is that a blended approach. Yes, maybe we are missing a blended approach, but the focus that we have is on the 3 day program. And we've all heard this. People don't have time. People don't have time. They can't come for 3 days. The business can't spare the team for 3 days. All of these are the regular complaints that we hear about. And we are still focusing on the 3 day. What is the actual problem is that the worth that they are getting is not worth the 3 days. They want to spend lesser time but get more. That's the value. The business is not seeing value in those 3 days. But if learning and development is able to create that value, the 3 day program will absolutely be welcomed. It is not the time, it is the value. So, next time one of your businesses says 3 days is a lot, ask them how you can make this more valuable. Go back and look at the business solutions, which brings me to the future of work. The future of work, this is centered around outcomes and not jobs. If you remember, there was a time, and maybe for a lot of us, there's still the time when we focus on the job. Somebody is, say an engineer, and they work on, say, a technology, say, workday. They are a workday professional. All we focus on is how do we improve their workday capabilities. But that's their job. There's much more that the business requires from them. Are we getting to discuss those business outcomes with them? There's new operating model. There are teams that function. There are networks, and the roles are very fluid. There are individuals who work in one space, but they're also supporting something else. For example, somebody say is into marketing, but they're also very good with analytics. There would be other teams who will say analytics, go to this person from marketing. They will be able to help you. And now they're also helping some other team with analytics. So their skill is actually analytics now. Then there's rise in AI assistance and augmented performance. AI is everywhere. Right now, there could be a lot of organizations that do not allow access to all the AI platforms, considering that they may not be safe. But what are those organizations doing? They are buying safer platforms. Or if they are tech companies, they're even building their own AI assistants. Now, every individual has an AI assistant. So, how are we going to support them to use it the right way? All of us must have used ChatGPT. But unless you give ChatGPT the right inputs, it is not going to give you the right output. So that is growing. And for people who work in consulting, this could be really, really important. Because how do you create the worth of individuals who are consultants and advisors? Why shouldn't the client go into AI and get the work done instead of coming to an organization and saying, I need value from you? And finally, skills become the currency of talent. That's what we all believe. But there's a twist to it. Why do we need trainings? Okay, let me ask you this, and if you can put this in chat and tell me what is the need of trainings? Why do we do trainings? What's the purpose? We'll give it a few seconds. The purpose of trainings. Learn about products and services, their company objectives and culture. Wonderful. What else? Why do we do trainings? One of the key reasons we do trainings to maximize or to minimize the skill gap. Wonderful. Improve performance and attitude. Absolutely. We need trainings to build meaningful skills, to reduce the skill gap. Now, we understand this. You have trainings, you have results in job roles, skills, and alignment to business and culture. Wonderful. So, training leads to better and more meaningful skills. Now, why do we need these skills? We need those skills to apply them to real work. What would an individual do with all the skills if they can't apply it to real work? And then what do we need capabilities for? We need them to grow, stretch, and take on more, which means learning and development, wonderful. We do trainings, perfect. We develop skills, yes. But the moment learning and development stops their role there, that, okay, these were the skills you asked us to build, and we have built them for your professionals. That is where we start failing. For learning and development, it is really important that they take this a step ahead. They check with the business that, okay, you've asked me to develop skills for your team members, and we are going to put together a program and develop those skills. But where are these skills going to be applied? Individuals need an opportunity to apply what they are learning. A number of leadership development programs, they fail for this reason. There's this high potential group, and all the businesses will build their own high potential groups with 10, 20, 50 individuals, depending on how large the organization is. Everybody is put on a leadership track. They are going through programs. It's a 1 year long, wonderful training. There's mentoring, coaching, e learning, opening and closing plenaries where people are getting together. All of that is happening. And then, out of those 50 people who went through this 1 year long program, you see about 30 of them quit the organization in following 2 years. And why is that happening? Because they've been put through a training, but there is no plan beyond that. And that is an added responsibility that learning and development professionals have started taking up now. In the beginning, when I introduced myself, I mentioned that I'm a learning and organizational development professional. And this becomes a part of my role then. The businesses will tell me these are the skills that we want people to develop. Now, what are we going to do with those skills? Where are they going to apply? Competency mapping. All of that becomes the responsibility of learning and development professionals. Look on those interventions. Yes, when we are training, we are going to look at where these skills are going to be applied. And now individuals are asking for those skills. So that's the evolution of learning and development. We are here to drive growth and not just deliver trainings. Now, on this slide, you also see TNA arrow BOA, because training needs assessment was a big thing many years ago. Now it has become business outcome assessment, which may not happen the way training needs assessments used to happen. Training needs assessments, typically we launched surveys, we spoke to smaller groups, we found out what skills they need, what trainings will help them. In fact, we started with what trainings they need, and then we came to what skills they want to develop, and then started recommending those trainings. But now it has become business outcome assessment. What is the final result that the business wants to develop? And I have a model to share with all of you, which I will get to in a bit. But remember this, training needs assessment is now outdated. What we need is business outcome assessment, for which the learning and development professionals need a seat at the table where businesses are being discussed. Businesses have their quarterly, semi annually, and annual meetings. We need to be a part of those meetings. I know it adds to a lot of work. Sometimes it also gets difficult to really follow what the business is discussing. But we need to be a part of those meetings. We need to ask questions. We need to get that one-on-one time with business leaders to understand what are they looking at doing? What are your goals in next 1 year, in next 2 years, in next 5 years? And then it is for us to identify what skills will help them get there. Because always remember, you are the learning and development professional. It doesn't matter what level you are at, but learning and development is your skill, not the business's skill. Even when you're talking to a business unit head, you're talking to a VP, that confidence of what skills they need comes from you. You're the one who is the best judge of it. Now, if this is where the future of work is, what will work out for us? Here are a few things. Capability academies powered by business-led learning. So business has to tell us what outcomes they want, And we are going to build capabilities based on that. So we are not training anymore, but we are building capabilities. Skill intelligence and AI driven personalization. What skill do each individual need? And how are we going to personalize those pathways for each individual? There are some organizations which have already reached there. There are most organizations which are still doing one roadmap for all employees at a particular level. But then there needs to be assessments. People need to be able to select what skills they already have, what skills they need to develop in their role and to grow in future. And that is something that AI can help you do. Then learning has to be integrated with workflow. I will get into details of how we do this. Human centered development, coaching, reflection, and practice instead of e learning. I think somewhere in between for a few months or few years, e learning became everything. So you would have one learning and development professional who's buying, developing e learning modules, and everyone is going and only doing e learning. But now it is also important to coach and reflect and practice. While e learning is important because that gives you flexibility. So now it's a whole ecosystem of learning, and only having one kind of resources and one kind of solutions is not going to help. Now, this is where you may want to make notes or go back to the recording in future and look at how are we going to do what will work for learning and development in your future. First, start with business outcome, not learning needs. We've already discussed this at length. Choose one business metric and design learning backwards. So go to your business, talk to them, find out what their priorities are, ask them what is the most important, or ask them where do they think the gap is smaller. And why are we doing this? We are doing this to look at what is going to work in our own organization. Once you know what that one business metric is that you're going to work on, you will create a learning design, and maybe for next 30 days you will pilot it. Pick up that one metric and work only on building skills for that, either what is most important for the business or a skill where they see smallest gap. So you're going to sit down, have that discussion, look at what skills are needed for that business outcome to be achieved, and then out of those skills, pick up one metric and see how you're going to fill that gap. Once you've done this for the business, they are going to trust you as a learning partner because you are helping them build their business. You're not just developing skills in their employees. Second is to shift from courses to learning ecosystems, which means having e learning courses, having virtual training delivery, having in person courses, having coaching sessions. All of this together will build that ecosystem. So, some ways a lot of good organizations are working now, and somebody had even mentioned this on chat, is blended learning. Blending micro learning, coaching, learning pathways, workflow prompts, peer learning, manager rituals, all of that together is what will create your learning ecosystem. So, if there is an individual who's learning, say, I'm an employee in your company, how am I going to learn? I have several options. I have options of micro learning, I have a coach, I have a full learning pathway, I have e learning courses, I have in person courses, I have live courses, there is peer learning, my manager is invested in learning, and all of that together will frame what I call a learning ecosystem. Now, try creating that, and those pathways have got to be accessible to everyone. And if it is possible, that would be fantastic if people can personalize their own pathways. Now, how do we do all of this? We equip managers as talent accelerators. Who is one person who needs to be invested in the learning and development of an individual? It is their manager, irrespective of what level these individuals are at. How will we equip these managers? Maybe create simple playbooks, a 10-page or 15-page conversation guide, nudges. When this manager is sitting with their team member, what kind of conversation are they going to have? These short toolkits are going to help the managers and maybe even put that manager through a coaching cadence. They have 15-minute coaching one on one with somebody who's going to connect with them and help them navigate this path more easily. So now leaders have changed from being managers and bosses to being coaches. You are enabling and equipping your managers to be a coach to the individual. And these managers are now involved in their learning and development. This is where a lot of people ask me that managers are already overworked and now I want them to be invested in their team members' learning and growth. They're going to abuse me. No. So, this is what you're going to tell the manager, that when your team members grow, you will be able to pass your monkey to them. Passing your monkey is nothing but delegating. If the manager is not able to grow their team members, the manager is not able to delegate. And if they are not delegating, the team member is not growing. If the team member is not growing, they are going to leave the organization. Eventually, the manager will end up working overtime and doing a lot of work that their team members should have been doing, and they will also leave the organization. So, for the benefit of the manager and for the organization, it is important that the managers learn to grow their team members, invest in them, and start delegating to them. Then we look at skills first architecture. All of you are familiar with taxonomies and how they work. Maybe create a taxonomy for your own organization, a skills taxonomy. Pick up a few roles and see what are the skills that each of these roles have or require. Where will you get that? From the job descriptions. Where will you get that? You're either going to reach out to your learning and development leader. And if you are a learning and development leader, you're going to reach out to maybe the recruitment leader and ask them for these job descriptions. Analyze them and pick up maybe 20 top skills that your organization needs, and then start building courses based on those skills. So you will have skills first architecture there. Those are the top skills that you have found out, and those are the programs that you're building. And now you're allowing people to pick them up and build their own pathways. So, what you are doing is you're helping employees grow and develop, but you're also helping the businesses because those are the skills that they had asked for. Then, measurement. Measurement is so, so, so important. Measure what matters. For example, if you and your team are responsible for onboarding, how long does it take to build the competencies that the person has been hired to work with? You're going to do the onboarding for the business. You're going to look at how you build those competencies. Pick up any three KPIs that are most important: the impact on business metric, maybe internal mobility, or what do we call them? IJPs, internal job postings. Look at what is that thing that is important for your business. And then what are you going to do to ensure that you're meeting this? So, just like everybody is evaluated on certain skills and certain outcomes, you're going to pick up three KPIs from the business and then work on that to grow further. And finally, building AI and digital capability. Irrespective of organizations, irrespective of roles, today everybody has some use of AI tools, but they've got to use it responsibly and effectively. And you are the person who's going to help them build that. So those are few ways that you are going to do what will work in future for learning and development. You're going to start with business outcome. You're going to pick up one business metric and look at how you will influence it through your programs and through your pathways. Second, we are going to look at moving from learning courses to learning ecosystems. What are the various things that are going to be provided to employees in your organization? Blended learning, micro learning, coaching, mentoring, workflow prompts, peer learning, managers, who is going to help them and how are they going to develop their skills? Third, you're going to equip managers to be talent accelerators. They are going to get a playbook, they are going to have conversation guides, they are going to have certain coachings, trainings to learn how to develop their team members and how to help their team members grow and pass their monkey. Then you're going to look at skills first architecture. What are the top 20 competencies in your organization, and how are you going to help build gaps between that competency and what competencies currently exist? Then you're going to measure what matters. Maybe 3 KPIs from the business in the organization and look at how you're going to close those gaps. And finally, AI and digital capability. Where does your organization need it the most, and where are they going to use it more responsibly and effectively? Now, with that, I have the final thing for you, which is the modern learning pathway. Now, you're doing all of these things. With that, what are we going to develop? You will go back to your organization and you're going to look for these 6 things across the columns and the rows that I have built. Now, the dimensions here are capability focus, learning experience, and business impact. To begin with, we will only focus on these 3 things. What capabilities do people need? What will their learning experience look like? And what will this result in terms of business impact? Now, across the columns, you're going to look at 3 kinds of learners. And every organization has different kinds of learners and needs different kinds of learners. The first is I-shaped skills, which is depth only. Then you have T-shaped skills, which is depth in one area and then there's breadth. And then there is pie-shaped skills, which is dual depth and breadth. For some of you who have already reached probably the pie-shaped, you might want to go a step further and call it multiple T's. If you're not familiar with these terms, I'm sure you can go back to the recording and refer to them, but this is what it means. Let's start with the I-shaped skills. There's depth only. There's only one area where they are going to get into details. So this individual has deep expertise in one area and they are specialists. Their learning path, which is the learning experience, is going to be very structured, it's going to be very linear, and it's going to be very, very role specific. And how does it impact the business? They have high precision, reliable specialists, which means they have somebody who they can anchor the core responsibilities and capabilities to. For example, a lot of finance professionals could fall here, where they are deeply involved in finance. They fully understand everything finance, but everything else has to be prepared and given to them. They are not going to get into details of that. Does that work? Not always. Let's use the same example of a finance professional to look at what T-shaped skills could help us do. Now, this is depth and breadth. What does this mean? They are experts in one area, but they are also good at understanding the adjacent areas. Sorry, my laptop's battery is going low, so I'm going to put a charge here. All right. So they are experts in one area, but they also understand other areas. Now, the same finance professional, they are good at understanding finances, which is the line and T, and then across the breadth, they understand the businesses as well. So now when this individual is sitting down to look at how the budgets next year are going to look, they understand the other businesses. So their area is finance, but they know very well how much money has to be allocated where will the money be coming from, where will the money be spent. These T-shaped individuals are often connectors. They are the ones who look at their area and they connect it to everything else. How does that impact their learning experience? So what kind of learning experience are they going to have? That's going to be very, very blended. There's going to be cross-functional exposure. There's going to be multiple disciplinary projects. They are going to have more collaboration opportunities outside of their domain. That is how they are going to learn the best. How does this impact the business? The business is going to have individuals who are going to be more collaborative. more innovative, and they are going to be fast at solving problems because they are able to understand multiple things. And they can operate across teams. When people are looked at for leadership positions, you usually need people who understand what they do, but they also understand things across the organization. And then we have pie shaped skills, which is dual depth and breadth. Here, the individual is going to have two deep domains. They're going to have broad horizontal capability, and the thinking is going to be more interdisciplinary. What does this mean for their learning experience? Multidisciplinary and multimodal learning is what they are going to need. So they are going to learn from different areas, at least two, because this is pie shaped. When you get to the multiple T, that's where you're going to have several skills and competencies that the individual needs and develops. That's going to be a broader version of what we see in pie shaped skills. How does this impact the business? This is where strategy builders come in. There's strategic innovation. There's also systems thinking. If I move one thing here, how is that going to impact everything else? So, because I know two areas very well, for example, say the same person from finance. Now, they are very good with finance, but they're also very good with data analytics. So, they are gathering data, they are understanding that well, and now they're able to look at the larger picture in the organization. Something very, very important with this group is that they become good at solving ambiguous and complex issues. The VUCA world, if you're familiar with that. And now the world is becoming more and more VUCA. So we need a lot of people who have good understanding of multiple areas and have very clear understanding of the breadth of the organization. These are also people who will solve issues across functions. So they are not just in one area, but across functions. Usually, when you have, for example, in HR spaces, you have somebody who's very good at learning and development. They're the I shaped. They're very good at learning and development, but they're also good at DEI or maybe recruitment. That is when they become the pie shaped. And those are the people who have multiple areas of expertise, at least two or three, who become the head of HR. Because now they can handle learning and development, they can handle DEI, they can handle recruitment. For few others, they can always use the broader understandings that they have. So now organizations are moving more and more towards pie shaped skills. However, there would still continue to be some roles which need the I and T shaped learning. There will also be some individuals who say, no, I don't want to grow beyond this space. This is all that I want to do, and this is all that I want to learn. And I love being in the space that I am. I don't dream to become a leader. I want to be where I am. And those are the people who want to go deep into what they are learning. So keep them updated with whatever is happening. But for the rest, you are going to look at multidisciplinary learning. Finally, we as learning and development professionals have now moved from learning to growth. What does this mean for us? Training only creates value when it builds the right and relevant skills. We had discussed 6 steps for you to go back and apply at your workplace, and you can use the model that I had just shared with you. Use these and look at what are the right and relevant skills your organization needs to develop. Once you know that, you're also going to work on where will these skills be applied. Is it in their current role? Are they going to move to a different role? How does the organization look? That is the organizational development part of what you'll do. Then we are also going to look at how these capabilities will help people grow, innovate, and take on new challenges. Everybody loves to grow. That is what keeps people alive. So, how are you helping them do that? The role of learning and development itself is now moving from delivering learning to enabling growth, adaptability, and long term capability. Something that they start building now, which is going to go a long way for them and the organization. And finally, We are looking at the new architecture of learning and development, and that is all about the workforce evolution and business acceleration. So, here's something one of my friends had once told me: if you're working with a company, you're either going to help them earn money or you're going to help them save money. The day learning and development professionals start looking at it from this lens: how am I helping my organization to earn money or save money? The businesses will start seeing more value in what we do. With that, I come to a conclusion for the session today, and I'll stop sharing for any questions you may. Pratibha, will you be able to help me with questions that people have?
Sure, Yukta. First of all, thank you so much for the amazing and insightful session. So I'm sure our participants have learned a lot. Participant, the floor is officially open for question and answer. So if you have any question, please feel free to drop them into the chat box. Yukta, we have few questions from the participant of YouTube and LinkedIn.
Mhm.
So, the first question is, according to you, what do you think? What are the biggest gaps you see in traditional learning and development models, and how should leaders address them?
In traditional learning and development model. Thank you. I think we have discussed that at great length. The traditional learning and development model, and this is what even I have done when I started working in learning and development space, which was how many modules can I create in a year or in 6 months or in quarter, because that is something I would be assessed on. How long are these trainings and how many people have gone through the training? So I think we used to call them what, training hours or learning hours that people used to have. I think it was somewhere where it shifted from training hours to learning hours, and people have to go through the trainings. And people who got a lot of employees go through these trainings would also get recognized that, oh, you had 3000 training hours and you took 500 people through those trainings. And that's where we used to be. And that's the gap, because now you're telling the business that we took away 500 productive hours from your business to complete a training that's not going to fetch you anything. Now, where we have shifted is the 500 hours has to be reduced to 50 hours, and the outcome has to be very, very clear and direct, which is why I spoke about picking up one business metric that you are going to influence, and how are you going to fill that gap.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for those thoughtful answer. So, next question we have: how, in your experience, which emerging technologies have the most impact on learning adoptions and engagement?
I think it is AI, because AI is going to help learning and development teams make learning more personalized. AI skills is what businesses are looking for. So that is definitely one of the biggest things that people are looking for. Something else that I have learned recently, um, and it's interesting that it's only recently that I realized that project management could be another skill that people really need. So when you look at how project management and AI can come together, I know there are so many project management tools that are being launched now that are driven by AI. You need that for the next generation leaders. Individuals are not interested in sitting down and tracking what is happening. They want to learn those skills that can help them do this quicker, because people want to do more and more in less and less time. So, AI and project management, definitely.
Thank you so much for those insightful answer. So next question we have: how do you balance personalized learning paths with organizational learning goals in a modern learning and development frameworks?
That's a wonderful question. And one word answer would be competency. If your organization does not have a competency model, and a lot of people will say competencies are now outdated and now it is skill based learning, but somewhere there are few things in learning and development that have remained consistent because they are important. We have changed the words because every time we have a new learning and development leader coming in, they're like, okay, now let's change this. No more competencies. We are skill based. Now we'll only look at skills, but more or less they're picking up a previous model, copy pasting it, changing a few words, and then calling it skill based. So competency modeling is something that a lot of organizations still do, and it helps them. So look at how those competencies can be developed in the organization. And like I said, pick up the competencies or skills by roles. Look at those top 20 skills or competencies that your organization needs, and that'll depend on the industry that you're working in. If you're in tech industry, you will need certain skills. If you're in finance industry, you will need other skills. If you're in, say, legal backgrounds, legal organizations, there's something else that you'll need. So look at what are the top skills that your organization needs. Based on that, you will have a whole set of programs that are required at that level. So those could be the programs that you mandate that's going to impact the business outcome. And then you're going to help your individuals or your team members, your employees, to look at how they will create a personalized learning pathway. That's where you will bring in AI from a learning and development standpoint, where maybe they'll do an assessment and they'll say, okay, these are the skills I'm good at, and these are the skills that I need, but I need to develop them because I'm not good at them. And that will also be fed in from your competency model. So you will look at that and they will pick up their own skills. And you already have programs and pathways ready that they're going to go through. So that is how you could address and balance that requirement of your organization and the personalization of learning.
Thank you so much for those detailed and amazing answer. So we have one question from Vikas. In today's evolving digital and AI-driven ecosystem, what learning architecture should organizations adopt to build skill rapidly and enable continuous capability development?
Thank you for that. I would say continuous capability development is the key of this question, where you need people to keep learning all the time, which is why I spoke about the learning ecosystem, which is not a learning training program, which is not a course, but it is an entire ecosystem, which means I could learn anytime, anywhere. We also have opportunities where you're working and then there are prompts within your work. For example, I think AI again could help largely in this, where when, for example, a software engineer, when they are coding or when they're testing and they come across something that they get stuck with, this is their learning opportunity. Few years ago, we would have said that is the moment when the manager should appear and then help them. But today, we don't expect that. We expect AI to enable that kind of learning. You get stuck, and there are resources that learning and development has provided to those individuals. They can quickly go in, learn how to move beyond where they are stuck. If you're working with consulting organizations, then how are you going to have those conversations with your clients? What should your presentation include? You have all of that provided by learning and development, and you go into a resource and you quickly get that. For continuous learning, manager's involvement is very, very, very important. It is the manager who knows what kind of work the individual is doing, where they are with each skill set, and how much time do they have to learn, and what is the best way for them to learn. So managers must be involved and they must be coached on becoming coaches.
Thank you so much for this amazing answer. So the next question we have regarding the what is the role of informal or peer-to-peer learning in building a sustainable learning and development strategy?
Today, it is very important. Without social learning, there is nothing. You have to be able to help your team members teach each other the skills that the other team members need. So, peer learning is very, very important. There was another part to that, Pratibha, that you mentioned apart from peer learning.
Peer learning in building a sustainable, informal and peer learning, peer-to-peer learning and building a sustainable learning and development strategies.
Informal learning and peer learning. So, both of them could
Yes.
be done through game based learnings, they could be done through blended learnings, they could be done through coaching interventions. But the more that AI is coming into the world, the more people are also craving for real human connection. People are looking for individuals to talk, and that's becoming premium because now you can go into AI and ask AI, okay, this is where I'm stuck and how should I handle this? And then AI will also give you a very good answer. Everything has been built and AI has all the knowledge. but that understanding of how do I make this sustainable instead of making it case to case basis. That comes when you have human connections. When you work with an individual, they tell you how to think about the problems that you're facing. They will be able to see those patterns and say, you know what, you've come to me twice about something similar, and this is the third time. So let me help you understand this better. Or maybe there's a course that you should be taking. So peer learning is very, very important. And learning and development can also facilitate those peer learnings by launching programs, by launching cross mentoring kind of programs. And when I say cross mentoring, I mean you have two people who are at peer level, they have different skill sets, but there is enough opportunity for them to collaborate and work together. So you can create that cross learning where one individual teaches the other person what they know, and this individual is teaching that person what they know. And that's how the skills will get exchanged. And that's how you will also be developing the pi skill employees.
Thank you so much for those insightful and amazing answer, Yukta. So the next question we have, how can organizations ensure that leadership and frontline teams are aligned in their learning and development priorities?
How can learning and development teams ensure this?
How can organizations ensure that leadership and frontline teams are aligned in their learning and development priorities?
Okay, how can organizations ensure that leadership and frontline employees are aligned? Now, first, that becomes an organizational development requirement. So, an OD professional will be able to align these things. And this is where the balance between the organizational needs and the individual needs comes in. The personalization part has to happen for the individual, but the organizational development and the organizational needs is what will come from the leadership. So, what will learning and development team do here? They will put on their OD hat. They will work with the leadership on finding out what are the business priorities, what are the business outcomes that you are looking for. They will also find out from the individuals what their aspirations are. Not everybody wants to be a leader. Not everybody wants to learn everything that the organization is doing. Not everybody wants to be on the stage presenting to the leadership. Every individual has different aspirations. Once you have all of this, you're able to see if the hiring is happening in the right manner, because that is very, very critical to bridging these gaps. Not everything is a learning and development problem and solution, but there are other teams also. And this is where you need to be the pi skilled employee, where you understand this of what are the aspirations of the individuals that are hired, you understand the business outcomes, and you know that the gap is big or small. Once you know that, you will know where you've got to hit. Whether you've got to look at how the hiring is happening. Yes, somebody has a skill, but where do they want to go? Are we doing futuristic hiring or not? Once you know that, you will be able to bring people into alignment, because now you're looking at where we want to go and where the individual wants to go.
Thank you so much for those detailed and thoughtful answer, Yukta. So, participant, I am really apologizing. We will not be able to take more questions. So, I'm going to take the last question for now. And I'll be sharing the Yukta's LinkedIn ID into the chat box, guys, for your convenience. So, if you want to connect with her or if you need any guidance and query, you can connect directly on her LinkedIn. I'm sure Yukta would be happy to help you out. So, Yukta, today's last question we have that what are the some common pitfalls you have seen while for the organization facing when transforming their learning and development strategies, and what do you think? How can they avoid them?
That's a very good question. And the biggest pitfall, I'm not going to get into too many of them because every organization is different, but a big one is resistance that comes from the businesses itself. Such changes, such transformations need a lot of time, they need new resources, and they need a lot of money. When learning and development is planning to change the way they function, every change comes or meets resistance. And that resistance comes from the businesses primarily, because what would be the reason that L&D is planning to change the way they function? What they are doing is currently not effective. And if that is not effective, then the businesses do not want you to experiment and do something new. So that is the biggest pitfall, that when there is such resistance, we don't know what to do. And we just take a new proposal, we think this is going to work, and we go ahead and we say, this is what we want to do. The way to resolve that would be to pilot, which is why today, when I shared with you steps that you can follow when you go back to your work, for example, picking up that one metric, give yourself a timeline. Don't look at all the metrics together. Look at one metric. Do it, show them that you've bridged the gap. Once you've showed them those examples, they will start believing and trusting in you. And then when you change the model and you need the money, for example, building competency model itself for an organization, that is a big investment. Bringing in e-learning platforms, that is a big investment. You know that this is going to be valuable. Maybe you're sitting in this session and you're able to see where you're going to apply this at your work, but your leader is not sitting in this session. So when you go back to them, they'll be like, oh, this is not going to work. We've done all of this in the past. When you hear that, you're going to pick up only that one metric. You're going to pick up only three KPIs. You're going to work with that and then show them the change and transformation and say, now, this is the reason we want to invest bigger and we want to go ahead with it. So I think that would be one pitfall that you will definitely face, and that's how you can handle it.
Thank you so much, Yukta, for the amazing answer. So, as I told you guys that I'll be sharing Yukta's LinkedIn ID into the chat box for your convenience. So, this is her LinkedIn ID. Please do connect with her. I'm sure she would be happy to help you out, right, Yukta?
Definitely. Thank you so much, Pratibha, and kudos to you for organizing this so well. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I look forward to connecting with anybody who's passionate about L&D. Let's talk more and let's see where this can go. I'm sure L&D can change the world. Thank you, Pratibha.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Yukta. Likewise, and we will be looking forward to connecting with you in the future as well. So, moving forward to the next part of the event. So, participant, if you guys think that you guys are ready for getting your certification, so you can grab it on our website. The certification is on live on our website now. So, we are giving a complimentary coupon code to all of our participants, which will give you a 20% off into grabbing this certification. And this offer is for a very limited time of period. So do hurry, make sure the offer you can grab you can as quickly. And I have shared you the coupon code link into the chat box for your convenience, guys, so that you don't miss out. And before wrapping up, I just wanted to make a few announcements, in which one is the utility tool. So in today's AI era, where every professional is taking help from the AI to making their learning journey, professional journey even more easier, HRs and recruiters are also one of the professionals who take the help from AI, because they do get a lot of resumes on a daily basis. So now because they are taking the help of AI to screen their resume, which is a very better way to help them into selecting a resume for the interviews. But that is also the reason that most of the candidates are getting rejected, because their resume is not up to the keywords and everything is not up to the AI screening system. So what you can do, you can also take the help of AI by using this utility tool. So log in into this utility tool by your LinkedIn ID and password, and the utility tool will access your complete profile, and it will give you a recommendation regarding your experience management, regarding your bio, regarding the professional development, everything according to the job title you are targeting, designation you are targeting, and the industry you are targeting. Also, we are giving the complimentary code to our participant, which will give you 100% off for the using the utility tool. And this offer is also for a very limited time of period. So make sure you are taking the advantage of it. So when everyone is taking the help of AI, why you're not? Take the help of utility tool and make your job hunting journey even more easier, and stand out your resume in front of the HRs and recruiter. So tomorrow we are also going to have the session for a GSDC AI implementation series. Today we had Today we had Dr. Utpal with us and we had an amazing session with him. Tomorrow we are going to have Rajat Srivastav, Senior Manager into the Gen AI. And the session is for 24 to 28 November, 6:30 am CST, 8:30 p.m. SGT, 6 p.m. IST. We are covering a hands-on webinar series designed especially for managers and professionals like you regarding the generative AI, agentic AI, and other AI tools as well. So not that you cannot learn, but you can also apply what you take away. And we are also conducting the ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 across industries from 21st to 28th November. Today we had Muthudeep for Partnership Security Consultant, Bug Stress. And tomorrow we are going to have Adesh Khan Sinha, founder of Envy.ai. And this is at 8:30 am CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. And today we are also going to have the learning and development webinar on the same time, and we are going to have Indra Books for the another session, and this is also going to be at 8:30 am CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. So I hope to see you all tomorrow as well. And with that, it's time to celebrate our referral champions. So we have Bhanu Durgesh, EPI, and Avinash Kumar. Thank you to all three of you, and thank you for helping us amplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. Keep the momentum going. So you can also be part of the referral championship. What you have to do, if any of your peer colleagues and professionals wants to join for this webinar, please refer them the registration link via the website, which you can find over in our GSDC website. And any of your peers, colleagues, and professionals are joining through the registration link shared by you, you will earn a point. So once you hit a $50 point, you will be able to get a free gift certification voucher. And if you want to become one of our speakers for learning capsules, webinar, and podcast, please feel free to contact at Pratibha at the gsdccouncil.org. You can also connect on my LinkedIn. And these are the platform where you guys can connect with us, our LinkedIn platform, our WhatsApp group, our website, so that you can be updated regarding our upcoming event and process and everything. So I am sharing the link into the chat box, guys, for your convenience so that you don't miss out regarding anything. And also, we would love to hear your feedback. I say this in every webinar, and I also see the feedback and suggestion what you guys drop into the trust pile list. So I'm telling you once again that we will love to hear your feedback. What you think about the webinars? What are your learning outcomes? What are your session key takeaways? If you have any suggestions or if you want to see any other topic cover, anything, we would love to hear that, because your feedback and suggestions will help us to improve our process and make your learning journey even more dynamic, engaging, and fun. So I am sharing the Trustpilot link into the chat box for your convenience, guys, so that you can drop your feedbacks and suggestions over there. And with that, it's time to come to an event. Thank you so much, Yukta, for the amazing and insightful session and coming on our platform. We are very honored to have you as our speaker, and we'll be looking forward to having you in the future as well. And thank you so much, participant, for joining into this learning journey and learning from our very amazing speakers. I hope to see you all tomorrow as well. Till then, keep learning, keep energizing. Have a good day, good night, good evening, wherever you are.